guys, so today's video is going to be all about Chat GPT. I'll cover everything that you guys need to know, from what Chat GPT is to how it works to the different types of prompts that you can use, and I'll also show you guys how you can refine your results so that they suit your needs better. And this video is going to be perfect for those of you who are completely new to using ChatGPT, but also even if you have used ChatGPT before, it still might be worth watching this video because you might learn something that you haven't already tried yet. So yeah, with that being said, let's just hop right into this video. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the ChatGPT website, and I'm just going to paste that link in. I've also included the link in the description below, so you can just click on that if you wanted to. If you have an account already, obviously you can just log in, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to click sign up. And just before, I was actually recording this sign up process, and I tried to use my Hotmail account, but it kept displaying this sign up currently unavailable error message, and it seems like a lot of people have also been experiencing the same issue, right? And so one person suggested to put your Gmail address in directly into this section and not click continue with Google, and so I did that and it actually worked. So if you guys are experiencing the same kind of issue, maybe try that. So I'm just going to put in my Gmail address. Okay, click continue. I'm going to put in my password. And I'm going to click continue. Okay, now it's just prompted us to verify our email. So I'm just going to go to my Gmail and I'm going to click on verify email address. Okay, now it's just prompted us to tell us a bit about ourselves. So I'm just going to put my name and date of birth and click continue. Now I'm just going to pop in my phone number and send code. Okay, cool. So now I'm just gonna click next, next, and done. So this is the home screen for ChatGPT, where it says send a message. This is where you'll input in some sort of prompt, and a prompt could be anything like a question, a statement, or any piece of text that provides context or information for ChatGPT to generate a response. So like a really basic prompt could be, what is matcha? And then based on all the data it's been trained on up until 2021, it's going to give us some sort of response. And obviously we can also put this into Google, but I guess it's nice to get an instant answer to such a simple question without needing to browse through the different search results on Google. Okay, so on the side here you can see that it's created a new chat and it's given itself a label. If you ever wanted to go back to that chat, you can just click on that. And what's great about ChatGPT is that it remembers some sort of context or information from its previous interactions. So here what I can do is I can type in give me some recipes. And it's going to give me some recipes that include the ingredient matcha. It knows we're on the topic of matcha, so we didn't have to type out a super long question. Okay, cool. So it's given me a matcha latte, a recipe for a matcha smoothie, and for energy bites. Let's just say we aren't too happy with the response that it's given. We can click regenerate response, and it's going to give us hopefully some different recipes. Okay, so it's given us matcha latte, but I think this one includes almond milk instead. It's given us a matcha smoothie bowl and matcha green tea ice cream, though I think it's struggled a little bit with the formatting, but it's given us a different response. On the side here you can just toggle between the different responses. And on the side here, there's a thumbs up and thumbs down button. This just gives the system some sort of feedback, and this helps improve the quality and accuracy of its future responses. So one really cool thing that you can do with Chat GPT is ask it to summarize stuff for you. Say you're a student and you've got a bunch of different articles to this essay topic, but you don't want to spend hours on end highlighting the main points. You can simply copy and paste that article into Chat GPT and then get it to give you a summary. So I've just got this random article about sleep, and I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to open up a new chat, and then I'm just going to write summarize this text, and I'm going to paste in that article, and it's going to give us a summary, which is really cool. I've seen some people where they just paste in the link of the article, but I found that doing it this way is kind of unreliable, and a lot of the times ChatGPT gives a summary that's completely irrelevant to the link. So definitely, if you want a more reliable summary, take the time to copy and paste the article. Okay, cool. So it's given us a short, concise summary without actually having to read that super duper long document. Not only can you prompt ChatGPT to summarize articles for us, you can get it to give a summary of a certain book. But just keep in mind that ChatGPT's knowledge is limited up until 2021, so it might not have details on books that are published after that date. So I'm currently reading Blue Ocean Strategy. I can get ChatGPT to give us a summary. I'm going to say, give me a summary of the book Blue Ocean Strategy. But this time I'm going to get it to put the key ideas in dot point form. Great, so it's actually put the key ideas into dot point form, which just makes it a lot easier to read. Here it mentions that the process of creating a blue ocean includes 4 key steps. So maybe I want to learn a little bit more about step number 2. I can just ask ChatGPT to elaborate a bit more on step number 2. Okay, now it's just going to give us some more details and information into step number 2. So the next thing that you can get ChatGPT to do is to offer suggestions. Maybe you're not too sure of what to buy as a birthday present for your partner. You can simply put in the prompt, give me some ideas of what to buy as a birthday present for my partner. Okay, so here it's given me a few responses, but because I wasn't too specific with my prompt, it's given me quite a generic reply. It's really important to remember that the more context and information you give ChatGPT, the better it's going to understand what you're asking for, and it's going to give a better response. Instead, you could be like, my partner is a big fan of anything audio related. He already has a lot of earphones and headphones. I have a budget of $100. Give me some ideas of birthday presents to buy. So this is definitely a lot more specific. You know, it specifies the budget and it specifies the type of products he likes, which is anything audio related. Okay, great. So here it's given us some nice recommendations that are a little bit more personalized. Since I already mentioned that my partner already has a lot of earphones and headphones, it's given me some products to buy that are still within the audio niche but aren't headphones or earphones. Let's just say I'm interested in the sound wave art print. What I can do is I can say, give me some links to idea number 4, and it's going to give me some links where I can just click and I can buy that sound wave art print. Moving on to number 3, ChatGPT is a really powerful tool for writing text and content on different topics. You can get ChatGPT to write a blog post, an essay, a script, a song, a poem, pretty much anything you can think of, Chat GPT can write that for you, which is really cool. I've already written a prompt for Chat GPT, so let's just paste that into the message button. Here I'm just asking ChatGPT to write a blog post on the 5 ways that you can make money online, and I'm asking it to give unique ideas and to clearly label each of the sections of the blog post. And here I'm saying, ask me any questions that will help you to give me a more personalized and relevant response, and I'm saying only start writing after you have received clarification. And it's really good to add this ending statement because most of the time our initial prompt, it might not have all the necessary details. So by prompting ChatGPT to ask follow-up questions from the very beginning, this just helps to get a more tailored response that suits our needs better. So let's just hit enter and see what questions ChatGPT has for us. Okay, great. So here it's asking, what's our target audience for this blog post, and asking us if we would like to focus more on passive income or more, or methods that require more active participation. Okay, so here I can say that my target audience are mainly students in university who are looking to make some extra sources of income. They are interested in passive income, and I'll also say that they are interested in the e-commerce niche. Okay, great. So here it's given us 5 ways that you can make money online, but it hasn't included like an introduction as you would for a normal blog post. So I'm just going to write, turn that text into a blog post. Okay, cool. So now we have a nice little blog post. It's given us an introduction and it's sectioned everything out nicely. Obviously, I don't recommend directly copying and pasting, but it does give us a really nice starting point to build off of. Always make sure you fact check, use your own judgment and critical thinking too. Alright, let's just try something else now. Maybe you're a teacher and you need some help constructing an email. You can actually get ChatGPT to take on a certain identity. So I've already written up a prompt. You are a grade 3 teacher, your student has been failing all their homework recently, not paying attention in class, and you're concerned about their progress. Write an email to their parents asking to meet up to discuss this. Okay, so here it's coming up with an email that's addressed to the parents from the perspective of a grade 3 teacher. And then you could probably just copy and paste this, maybe fix up a few bits, include the parent's name and your name, of course, and then just send it off. So it really does help speed up your workflow. You don't have to spend so much time thinking of, what to write. And to refine your prompts even further, you can actually get ChatGPT to write in a specific tone of voice. For example, write an encouraging email, or write a sarcastic text, or you could say write a funny song, and then it'll just do that for you. So let's just quickly try one. I'm gonna say, write me a sarcastic tweet about a work meeting scheduled on the weekend. Okay, so here it's saying, oh boy, can't wait for that thrilling work meeting on the weekend. Nothing screams weekend relaxation like discussing TPS reports with the gang. Hashtag sarcasm, hashtag work-life balance. Another thing ChatGPT can do is provide feedback. You can get it to critique an essay or an email, and it'll give some sort of general feedback and suggestions. So I've just got this random blog post that I had to write for uni a couple of years back, and from what I remember, it was a very poorly written blog post. So yeah, let's just see what ChatGPT has to say about it. I'm just gonna ask it to critique my blog post, and I'm also going to include what the topic that I was given, and I'm just going to paste in the blog post too. Hit enter. Okay, so here it's talking about how it would have been helpful to provide specific examples of businesses that executed this strategy well and how it led to conversions. I do think that that's quite a fair point. My blog post could have been strengthened if I had provided more specific examples instead of talking kind of more generally about these like makeup pages and restaurants and clothing shops. It's definitely nice to get some sort of constructive feedback almost instantly, and then you can see like what areas you can improve on. I know that this example is just on an old blog post, but I still use it in my day-to-day life, just asking ChatGPT to critique like my emails that I've written, because sometimes I struggle with writing emails. Number 5, ChatGPT can help out with rewriting text or finishing off sentences, and this is what I've been mainly using ChatGPT for. Sometimes I want to get something across, but the way that I write it, it doesn't flow very well, and so what I'll do is I'll copy and paste the text that I've written, and then I'll get ChatGPT to write it in a way that's a bit more clear and concise, and I'd say most of the time it does a really, really good job at it. Okay, so I've just got some text that I was actually going to include in the introduction to this video, but no matter how I wrote it, it just didn't sound quite right, so I just scrapped it in the end. So I'm going to use it for this particular example. I'm going to rewrite this text, and I'm going to paste in the text that I want ChatGPT to rewrite, and let's see how they fix this up. Okay, so here's the new version, and I do think that it sounds a lot better and it's a lot more clear and concise while still maintaining the original message. Another useful prompt is finish off this sentence. Sometimes you might have writer's block and you're struggling to finish off this sentence. You can actually get ChatGPT to complete the sentence for you. Let's just try something random like the rabbit jumped over, and then I'll write finish off this sentence. Okay. Says the rabbit jumped over the fence and disappeared into the bushes. Maybe let's write finish off this sentence in a creative way. The rabbit jumped over. Let's see. So it says, the rabbit jumped over the moon and landed on a cloud made of cotton candy, bouncing up and down with delight. So I think that's quite a creative way to finish off this sentence. I use the finish off sentence quite often actually. Sometimes I'll be in the middle of writing an email, or say I'm writing the script, for example. Sometimes I get a little bit stumped and I need a little bit of ideas, so I'll ask ChatGPT to help me finish off a sentence to give me a little bit of a head start. Number 6, since ChatGPT is designed to understand natural language, you can easily have a conversation with it whenever you're bored or you just want some advice. Say you're going to Thailand soon, but you're not too sure what to pack. You could be like, hey, I'm going to Thailand for 5 days and I'm not too sure what to pack. Can you help me out? I'm going to a few beaches and temples. And then from there you can have a little back and forth conversation. You can ask it questions if you aren't too sure of something. And you can basically talk to ChatGPT as if they were, your friend. Or say you need help practicing for an interview, you can use ChatGPT for that too. I'll just type something like, Can you run a practice interview with me? I'm going to an interview tomorrow for a cafe. Act as if you're the hiring manager of that cafe. And I'm going to tell ChatGPT to start off the interview, but also to wait for my reply, because sometimes ChatGPT gets a little bit confused and then they start acting as if they were the interviewer as well as the interviewee. So it's important to include that last section if you kind of want that back and forth interview. So let's press enter. So now it's going to have a back and forth conversation with me, and it's going to ask me a bunch of questions that would be typically asked in an interview for a cafe position. And what's great about this is that you can also ask ChatGPT for some sort of feedback on the response that you gave, and you can take on this feedback and improve your responses, and then this just helps you build a little bit more confidence and to strengthen your replies. Okay, moving on, you can prompt ChatGPT to translate stuff for you. From my experience, ChatGPT is a lot better at translating stuff from social media, for example, captions or tweets where you'd find a lot of slang, jokes, or cultural references compared to Google Translate. For example, sometimes I'd be browsing my Instagram and then I would come across a Chinese caption and I would click on the See Translation button, and even after getting the translation, I still wouldn't understand what the caption is about, because the caption is taken so literally that it becomes awkward or confusing to read. Anyway, so I've just got this caption that I found from this popular Taiwanese singer, Jay Chou, and I'm going to use that as an example here. Okay, so I've just typed, the following is a social media caption written by a famous Taiwanese singer. Please rewrite it as though it were a social media caption written by a native English speaker. This is the caption, and I've just pasted in the caption here, and let's hit enter. Okay, so it says, Sunny boy alert, if you ever run into me holding a copy of GQ magazine, don't be shy to shout out, handsome dude, can I get your autograph? I'd be more than happy to sign it for you, just make sure you don't mess up my name. Now, if we compare this to the Google Translate version and also the Instagram Direct C Translation, the ChatGPT one definitely sounds a lot more natural and fluent. And if you see here, ChatGPT is actually missing the ending, which is like, just make sure you don't mess up my name. It doesn't say it anywhere here. And it also says, can I sign my autograph instead of can you sign my autograph, which definitely affects the end translation. Another command type for ChatGPT is getting it to explain different concepts. For example, I could say something like, explain the concept of algebra. Okay, so here it's giving us an explanation of what algebra is, but let's just say we want it in more simple terms. What we could do is we could say, explain that as if I were 5 years old. And now it's just going to simplify this whole section until it's as easy to understand for a 5-year-old. If you want to have a bit of fun, you can actually ask ChatGPT to explain a concept, but in a particular style. So you could be like, what is drip coffee? Explain it as if you were Shakespeare. And now it's just going to explain what drip coffee is, but kind of like how Shakespeare would speak. The next thing that you can prompt ChatGPT to do is to brainstorm ideas for you. You can get it to brainstorm business name, YouTube video titles, or maybe some solutions to problems. You can get it to brainstorm some sort of essay topics. You can pretty much get it to brainstorm anything, and it's really useful in that sense. Okay, let's just try to type something in. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me brainstorm some unique and unconventional ideas to get more customers to my pop-up candle store. And I'm also going to specify that I want the ideas to be low cost. Make sure you're very specific with your requests so that they can generate some more tailored response. Okay, so ChatGPT has given us 10 different ideas that we could potentially implement. I quite like the host a candle making workshop. It's definitely nice to use this brainstorm command to get some sort of inspiration. Obviously, ChatGPT can generate a large amount of ideas in a short period of time, and also like if you wanted to get feedback on one of your ideas, you can, and you can build off the ideas in real time as if you were discussing with your teammates or your friends. And lastly, ChatGPT can help with research by finding relevant articles, papers, or other sources of information. Say you are a student and you've just been assigned an essay about REM sleep. You can ask ChatGPT, can you help me find some articles on the importance of REM sleep? And then it's going to find a bunch of articles that it thinks is relevant, and you can also ask it for the links to those sources of information. So that's it for today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. I do think that ChatGPT is quite an impressive tool. Whether you're a content creator, a student, or like even a business, it really does speed up your workflow, and it can also save you a lot of money. So if you haven't tried ChatGPT yet, I definitely think it's worth giving it a go.